Hello friends, and welcome to Pathologic Volume 1, Episode 1. In this series, we take a look at how to solve a variety of pencil logic puzzles. Today, we'll be kicking things off with one of my favorite genres right off the bat, which is called Heyawake. So let's get started by taking a look at the rules together. Heyawake is a shading puzzle in which we are trying to shade cells so that they're not adjacent to each other and that the remaining unshaded cells form a connected region. This is a common constraint we'll see in a lot of puzzle types. The rules say shade some cells so that no two shaded cells are orthogonally adjacent, orthogonally meaning sharing an edge, horizontally connected. So these two cells here could not both be shaded. As you can see in the solution, that is always the case. And the remaining unshaded cells form one orthogonally connected area, which just means that from one unshaded cell, you can trace a path to any other unshaded cell in the grid. Numbered regions must contain the indicated amount of shaded cells. So that just means that in this region at the top left that has a 2 in it, we have to have 2 shaded cells, which you can see is the case. In this region in the middle, we have to have none. In regions without a number, we can have any number of shaded cells. A line of consecutive unshaded cells may not cross more than one bold border. This is the confusing one. This is saying, with these bold borders on the grid, we can't have a run of unshaded cells that crosses 2 of those borders. It can go up to the second border, but we would have to have a black cell to stop it. So, for example, in this upper right-hand corner here, we have a region that starts here, crosses a border, but before it would cross the next border, we have a shaded cell. And you can see that pattern repeated. You can see also that it doesn't have to fully fill 2 regions. It can stop early, like this one, this horizontal region right here does. And that is the rules of Heyawake. Now let's get solving. Today's Heyawake puzzle is by Jovial, and you can play it as always using the link in the description below. When I look at a Heyawake puzzle, one of the first things I do is look for numbers. Well, zeros are very useful if they exist, but we don't have any of them in this puzzle. The next thing I look for are numbers that are so large they force or nearly force a particular arrangement of cells inside the region. So we'll start in the top left corner here. This 2, because shaded cells cannot be adjacent to each other, can only go in one of these 2 configurations. All 2 clues in a 2x2 will act that way. But in a corner, we have an additional restriction that comes into play, because if we were to place that arrangement this way, we would cut off this corner cell from the rest of the puzzle. So we can't do that. So we immediately can fill in these, and I'm going to highlight these other cells as forced to be unshaded. Next, we'll look at the rule that the unshaded cells have to all be connected, which we just used in the corner. We can use that to extend any dead ends like this out so that it can meet its friends in the outside world. So those come out like that, and we're likely to see that pattern or similar things to that as we solve these puzzles. Now, what we've done is eliminate 2 cells from consideration in this 2x4 region. And so now we effectively have a 2x3 region with a 3 clue in it. So we have a similar bit of logic as to what we did in the corner. There are 2 possible configurations of 3 cells, but this one sections off a single cell and it would be all by its lonesome, and that's not allowed. So this is the only possible configuration. We can unshade all the neighbors, and now we have, again, a couple little dead ends that need to come out and see the world around them. I'm just going to keep on going with this logic for a second before we get to the rest of the Heyawake logic, which we could use right now, but I'm going to defer that because it's going to come in later. Just to roll with what we've been doing, this region here has to be able to come out to the outside world here. And this one clue only has one place it can go. It'll go here. And now we can shade its neighbors. Okay. Oh, and while we're at it, let's do that logic on this 2 clue. We have the same kind of an extension of the corner logic here. We again have 2 versions. This isn't against a corner, but going in the positive diagonal here will isolate these 4 cells, which is not okay. So we're going to go in this direction. This isolated one needs to come out to the world. This 1 clue here. This 1 clue here. This needs to come out. And et voila. All right, this 3 clue, actually, I keep waiting to have to do the Heyawake specific stuff, but it hasn't come up yet. We've had opportunities to use it, but I'm just going to see how far this can take us. This 3 clue is forced in one particular configuration right here. And now the 2 clue, there are only 2 places for that. And now these little dead ends here have to come out. This 1 clue has only 1 place to go. This 1 clue has only 1 place to go. This dead end comes out here. All right. So I think finally we are now at a spot where we can't just use the no adjacent, no divide first rules. We have to use the Heyawake rule. So let's talk about it for a second. Whenever you have a stretch of cells that crosses, of unshaded cells, that crosses a border, it can only cross 1 border. So you can see that's true for all of the stuff we've done, even though we haven't been using that rule. It is following the rule. So for example, we've got a vertical stretch here that crosses a border. It only crosses 1 border. We don't have any that cross 2 borders. So now we can use that rule to deal with this 3 region very quickly. We have a vertical stretch right here that crossed a border. It can't cross another, so we must block it from going further. And again, and again. And lo and behold, those are all 3 of the cells that we need in this region. Okay. Then we can do that same thing in this region right here. Now we have a couple dead ends that need to come out like that. And we have another vertical stripe that needs to stop before it crosses the second region. Another dead end that needs to come out. Another vertical stripe that can't cross another border. Okay, and now this is going to bounce back up. This vertical stripe can't cross a border. And in fact, it would cross 3 borders, let alone 2. So we need to put a stop to that. And now we can, in the rightmost column, use that same logic once more to go there. And we have accounted for all 5 marks in this region. So these are all going to be unshaded. And now we are left just with the bottom stripe. And let's go from right to left. Here we've got a vertical stripe that has crossed 1 border, can't cross 2. This one has crossed 1 border, can't cross 2. So these are unshaded. And how many more do we need to fill in? We've got 2 out of 5, 3 more. There's only one way to do that. It's going to be this, this, and this. And that is how you solve a Heyawake. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out the description below for more free puzzles.